everyone, ChiBizHub family. I'm so excited to be here today and share with you one of our incredible partners, Facebook. We have joining us today, Miss Judy Toland, who is the Vice President, Head of Scaled Solutions Global Business Marketing for Facebook. I'm sure you all have seen all the incredible tools we have shared with you right now during the height of the pandemic. And so we want to make sure to have her today to not only share a little bit about her story, as we celebrate Black History Month and Black excellence, but also to share with you a little bit more about how these tools can be useful for you for our Chicago small business community. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you all know a little bit more about Miss Judy Toland, who is a transformational marketing C-suite executive with an engineer background. She joined Facebook in July of 2019 as the Vice President of Head Scaled Solutions, Global Business Marketing based in Chicago office. So she's here with us. The global role is responsible for all digital marketing, marketing analytics, attribution, and marketing governance and operations, marketing technology, and business education and certifications for Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger B2B brands. She was appointed at an additional role as head of Facebook Chicago office back in August of 2020. So that is just an incredible background, Judy. Again, really excited to have you here so the ChiBizHub family knows a little bit more about you. And with that, I want to go ahead and just, get right into it. Tell us a little bit more about, Facebook's new Elevate program. I've shared with the community so much about that already and who it's intended for. How might our Chicago small business community benefit from them and how can they access it?
Great. Well, first of all, thank you, Jasmine and World Business Chicago for your continued partnership and for helping us get the word out on the resources that we offer here to help empower the city we love, Chicago, right? And the small business community. So I'm just really excited to chat here today and talk about some ways that we can deliver digital tools. So, first of all, as you mentioned, what can I share more about Facebook Elevate? Well, Facebook Elevate was founded in 2018 by a very passionate and industrious Facebook employee, Irene Walker. And it was a small but mighty program really targeted at creating the acceleration needed to propel economic success and impact entities of color. So Facebook Elevate primarily serves the Black, Latinx, and Hispanic communities. And that community ecosystem includes small businesses, creators, nonprofits, community leaders, and in some cases, students and job seekers. We are just really focused on providing education and community and mentorship and empowerment, right? A wraparound program. And, right off the top, if all of that sounds interesting to you, you can always learn more about Facebook Elevate by going to our webpage, right? Which is www.facebook.com/FB Elevate.
Thank you so much for that, Judy. And
of course,
our audience knows Facebook Elevate actually also has a Facebook group that you can join at a click of a button or be invited to.
Yes.
I love with that group. I'm part of it. And you see the small business community constantly posting questions, either a tool that you have or something that's going on with their business that they think Facebook could help them. And when I tell you your entire team, like within minutes, not even minutes, seconds, is answering to the question.
Right.
You can't ask for a better customer service than that, right?
And that's the essence of Facebook Elevate, right? Facebook is a huge global company with billions and billions of users, right? And over 180 million small businesses. But Facebook Elevate is really where you come to feel like you're part of the small community, where you can get that enrichment, right? And really, we're focused on making sure that Black and Latinx and Hispanic entrepreneurs and creators really learn how to grow their businesses and amplify their voice. And so that's why when you join our Facebook group, you almost feel like you're coming home, right? And there's always that level of interaction, and part of our program is really the fact that it's really a 360 wraparound program, as I mentioned before, workshops. You probably saw on our Facebook page, but also in other avenues that we have all these like virtual coaching sessions where we can help you optimize the use of your your Facebook page or other Facebook products, right? Instagram, WhatsApp, etc. We're also doing a lot around live events. You've probably seen on our Facebook page, we'll actually stream live, but live Q&A series where we discuss, different ways where you can leverage digital marketing in a culturally relevant way, right? In a way that resonates with the communities that you're serving. We also just are really focused on this whole idea around this concept of elevate circles. One of the things that we've seen in the data that's out there is that small businesses of color really benefit from mentorship, that one-on-one coaching. So our Elevate circles provide that ability to get mentored and coached on some top tier marketing strategies, or just someone to bounce ideas off of, right? That's a real live person, right? Not necessarily, in some instances, a 1-800 number. And also, one of the other areas of Facebook Elevate that we're really excited about is this whole idea around career connections, where these are connections that help us raise the economic prospects of students. So training students and then propelling them out into the community so they can work for small businesses, right? And help these small businesses get highly talented, digitally trained resources in their facilities at this very important time. And last but not least, the foundation of what we're trying to do here is all our blueprint training. Part of my day job is I have the pleasure of not only being the executive sponsor of Facebook Elevate, but also leading the team that puts together our hundreds of online training courses where, whether it be at 1 a.m. or 8 a.m., you can go online and learn more about how you can propel your businesses on our platform. So really, we see Facebook Elevate as a family. It's a group where we build relationships with one another. We've seen instances where two businesses might say, hey, you know what? Let's talk offline. Let's get a virtual coffee. I saw that you posted something. It was amazing. Right. And they're all in the small business trenches together. And it allows, we help foster that community selflessly because we want all of them to be successful.
Thank you so much for that, Judy. You even elaborated on the various different ways that Facebook is trying to really meet the small business owner where they're at, right?
Yes.
And that the digital divide is here, not everyone is plugged in. That being said, I know Facebook because we are an example of it, who partners with organizations, business service organizations, or the network like ChiBizHub that we have, and they walk us through the small business guides that you have. So then when we talk to the small business owner, we're like, hey, have you connected to this? If you're not, how can we get you connected to this? So definitely have to give a shout out to Facebook for that.
It's our pleasure, honestly.
Thank you. Moving forward, I definitely want to talk a little bit about, giving your expertise. What do you recommend are the 3 things a small business owner should be doing on Facebook?
Of course. It's always good to provide like levels of advice in threes. And, I'd love to think about this in 3 simple ways. One, just be comfortable telling your story. One of my mentors told me a long time ago is that one of the critical tools and skills of a leader or a small business owner is being a good storyteller. And we've always been impressed by businesses that can share their story in a connecting way, right? Whether it be that post on Instagram where you show a new shipment of that highly sought after product, right? Or leveraging stories to provide a virtual tour of maybe a new display or a hot new sale item. You may want to tell your story by leveraging some of the polling features in some of our tools, whether it be in IG or in Facebook, where you could crowdsource input from your community, from your customers, but be comfortable telling the story of your business and letting people in, right? Second, I think it goes without saying, because 2020 and now 2021, which seems a bit like 2020, is all around pivoting, right? Being able to truly move in dramatic ways, right? Offline to online. Maybe you didn't do carry out if you're a restaurant, now you do. Maybe your product portfolio has changed, but just be comfortable diving into that change and then leveraging those that you have seen out there that maybe have driven some successful change in other areas that you could partner with or benchmark. And then really just, this whole idea around finally just trying something new. Don't be afraid to experiment. One of the things about our digital platforms is that you can try many different posts, different avenues. I highlighted everything from polling to stories, to Facebook page posts, to boosting posts. There's just a myriad of different tools that you can learn from a lot of our training that'll allow you to change things up, experiment, see what works, and then rinse, repeat.
Thank you, Judy. And for our audience too, I just want to make sure that they know, I feel like Facebook is the one and only one in the game that has just like a guide for everything, right? So they'll come out with the tool and you'll have the guide, but then you'll also have a webinar where you have individuals talking about like, hey, this is what I did with, the tool that they shared. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. And you're really able to engage in conversation with the experts. And then just, again, other small business owners that have used the tools that can really share with you, hey, this is what works and this is what didn't. And so I think that just all around, I feel like, you get all the services involved with Facebook. So that's really helpful. Thank you, Judy. Moving forward to what are top 3 tricks for effective ads? You touched a little bit on this, but I want to make sure to make it specific for those businesses that make less than 100K in revenue. What would be recommended investment for these ads?
That's a great question. And I'd love to provide, kind of these top 3 tips or so in true form, an example of a story, right? And the whole idea around storytelling. So, first of all, the biggest misconception here is that it takes a lot of money to advertise online. That is false. The great thing about online advertising, which is really why our platforms are so powerful, especially Facebook and Instagram, is that you, as a small business, can start with as little as $10 or $20. $10 or $20, right? And the good news is that we have seen success stories on a daily basis, just starting out in a small way, just like that. I'd love to talk about one Chicago business, Iris Botanicals, founded by Iris Patterson in 2014. They're a beauty and personal care business. They're known for their handmade all natural hair care line, which works to reverse hair damage and stimulate hair growth, right? And Iris was motivated. She was inspired because, of her own personal hair loss experience, right? Which a lot of times for entrepreneurs and small businesses, they're propelled by some emotional event that may have occurred to them or their family, et cetera. And really, Iris and her team at Iris Botanicals really dove in. They've since have helped really many women restore their hair, including those surviving cancer. And pre-COVID, Iris was using Facebook, to help her grow her sales, with 95% of her advertising being on Facebook. 95% of her orders came from Facebook. Before she even had a website, she boosted posts, increased her revenue by over 50% in 2 years. That's amazing stuff, right?
That's an incredible story. Thank you so much for sharing that, Judy. I know our audience, and especially our small business owner here in Chicago, is really going to appreciate that.
Of course.
You mentioned a little bit at the start about Facebook Elevate mentorship program and how important mentorship is for Facebook. Can you share with us, how can one apply, and is it a competitive process?
Yes, thank you for asking that question. Well, with our mentorship program, which we call Elevate Circles, as I highlighted a bit earlier, this is where you can receive that one-on-one support through a dedicated Facebook partner. Or even someone like myself, right? Our mentors help small businesses build their expertise on Facebook Ads Manager, which is the tool, the conduit where you manage all the advertising that you do on our various suite of platforms of social media, but also other relevant Facebook products. And really, Elevate Circles are a 6-week program. And you can expect to get training, not only in Ads Manager, but creative best practices, how and when to take pictures of your operations, your products, how to target what customers, how to look at the measurement and the reporting that comes out of your advertising and learn what worked and what didn't. And then also it allows you an opportunity to build that network of other peer small business, business owners, right? So you can have this kind of ecosystems of those that are like you, that are small business owners and trying to do and grow. Now, I want to share that, on the site that given demand, right now, not all businesses would immediately be paired with a mentor, but our goal is to continue to scale this, right? We want to partner with as many businesses as possible, especially during these times. And if you don't get a mentor right away, don't worry. As I mentioned before, there's tons of free courses and lessons you even mentioned as well. All you have to do is in the search bar say, hey, how to create a great Facebook ad. Boom. There will be tools that will come up, right? And so you can get trained up before you actually become part of an Elevate Circle, because then once you have your mentor, you'll have even more in-depth questions to ask, right? And more lessons learned that you can share.
Such valuable information. Thank you so much, Judy. And then also I want to add, even if you don't get a mentor, just look at the valuable network that you're now going to be being part of these programs. That's something that needs to be highlighted. I think we don't talk about it nearly enough. Networking and the network that comes when you do programs like this, it just exponentially grows your business. And just in terms of the model that you approach your business as well. We celebrate Black History this month, right? And we want to learn a little bit more about, what is Facebook doing to support our Black small business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs?
Well, this Black History Month, Facebook is celebrating the Black community in a way, probably in a larger way that we've ever done, right? We want to make sure that the Black community's voices are heard and that we raise awareness and inspire people to act. One of the things that we're doing and leading is that Black creators and community leaders are making their mark on this world and highlighting that, whether it be through Live Black stories or how we're pushing the culture forward on Instagram. This month and beyond, we've been leveraging our platforms to elevate Black voices. I'm always of the adage is that Black History Month is American history, right? And it's really 365 days of the year. And we want to make sure that we're continuously investing in the Black community. That's why, we have since June really leaned in to investing in Black-owned businesses. Right. In June, we committed to $200 million, where we would invest in Black-owned businesses, creators, and nonprofits, whether it be grants, or extending ad credits to over 10,000 Black-owned businesses in the U.S. And then for Black History Month specifically, Facebook Elevate is offering a full slate of inspirational educational programming. It's themed Generation Black or hashtag Gen Black for short. And it's been programming week by week of the month of February on various topics, whether it be Gen Black is skilled, Gen Black is unapologetically Black, or Gen Black is now. And this is really a modern realization of the African tradition where stories are passed down orally from generation to generation. So what we're doing in partnership with BET, Black Entertainment Network, is we're presenting 3 fireside chat sessions. Each feature a conversation between a member of the generation of entrepreneurs that are currently, right, Gen Z, making waves and writing their own stories, but then with a seasoned figure, right? Maybe a founder of a small business from many years ago, and juxtaposition them next to each other where you can hear their perspectives together. Just think about having front row seat to those conversations and how they can inspire you in your real day as a small business owner on what you can do to continue to thrive and to leverage our platforms for growth. So lots of exciting things happening in Black History Month.
Yes, they are. Thank you so much, Judy. And to wrap us up, Please, share what advice and final words of encouragement could you provide for Chicago's entrepreneurs and small business owners during this time? And please include any other initiatives or programs our audience can look forward to in the new year from Facebook for the small business community.
Of course. Well, thanks again for having me here. And I'd love to leave you with this. Small business is big business. Small business is important business. And there are over 31 million small businesses in the US, and they make up nearly 99% of all businesses. You are the backbone. And we know this pandemic has had a really detrimental effect on many small businesses like yourself. And that's why we share the optimism that, especially with programs like Facebook Elevate, we're here to help small businesses like yourself grow and thrive. This investment has permanence. Facebook Elevate, we we announced our commitment in June for a 3-year commitment, right? Where we're going to train millions and millions of members of the Black and Latinx and Hispanic community. And we are fully focused on Chicago and what we plan to do here with Elevate Circles, Career Connections, further live events. And I, as head of our Facebook Chicago office, are committed to providing the support as we all climb out of the pandemic. So feel free to check out our resources at facebook.com/business or our Facebook Elevate page. Go out and join. And I look forward to seeing all of you at upcoming Facebook Elevate events real soon. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for having me.
Thank you, Miss Judy Tolan. Appreciate you and appreciate you sharing all these resources with our community. This is Jasmine Garcia, Senior Business Resource Manager at World Business Chicago, leading our ChiBizHub initiative. Please connect with us on Facebook and Instagram and all other social media accounts. Thanks again.